Now it's time to bring in, drum roll, please. Everybody do the drum roll.
What's up?
What's up? Dr. Richard Kaye. Richard, please tell us who you are and enlighten us. I know what you do, and I think you're freaking magnificent. Will you enlighten us for why I asked if you would be a presenter at this summit?
So here's the deal. Once I figure out who I am, I will be glad to share it.
Who am I is often a common question I still ask myself.
Yeah, it's an unfolding journey. And Amy, thank you for inviting me to share some of my knowledge, wisdom, information. I was just looking to see how long we know one another, and it's forever. I don't know how many lifetimes. I just couldn't find a date in this third dimensional reality. So I want to begin what I do now, and we'll speak to this and how I can serve you in this, is what makes you different than everyone else doing the same thing as you do. I'm going to tell you a story. When I graduated from chiropractic school, I got my MGB. Anyone remember what those wonderful things were? A little 4-cylinder thing. Drove from New York to San Diego and set up a practice. And I thought I was hot shit because I was a brand new doctor and I was doing things that nobody else was doing. It was about quality of life, not about headache and back pain stuff. I soon discovered that to the several million people who lived in San Diego, I was just another one, another chiropractor. I didn't stand out from the crowd until I got on the 6:30 news. I got on a morning television talk show for about a year. I got major articles in the San Diego Tribune, Los Angeles Times, even had a PBS special about me. It was then that I realized, by the way, to give you an idea how long ago I was handing patients VHS tapes, and just dates it a little bit. I'm not making this about me. I'm giving you a reference that what makes you different than everybody else. And don't take this personally. No one gives a shit what you do. No one cares what it is that you do. You all want the same thing as everybody else does, and that's what's in it for me. You're in this program, and I've seen many of you on other events, and I'd like to believe that you're on a lot of these events. You're entrepreneurs. You're looking to grow a business, and you are interviewing everyone who has an offer. In one of our breakout rooms, someone asked a question, why are you giving this to us to have? Because you want to build your mailing list. You want to develop your database. By the way, I'll answer almost any question that you throw out. I'll do my best to answer. I've been in this space for 25 years. And just as a sidebar here, I, again, had a thriving practice in San Diego. And some of you will appreciate if I say it was a download. I was told, retire from chiropractic and work with entrepreneurs. And I said, really? And they said, yes. 3 weeks later, I shut down 30 years, drove from San Diego and now live in Thomson, New Mexico to start serving. I didn't even sell it. I just shut it. I said, I'm done. 3 weeks. A lot of people were pissed off, but that's the way life happens. When you follow your passion, you follow your dream, you follow not even your heart, follow your soul, follow what you are asked to do. No one can direct you. So I've been in this space serving entrepreneurs for 25 years. Someone asked me, yes, I used to work with CEO Space. That was where I began this adventure. The founder died coming up on 3 years, and I now do different things. I help people still improve quality of life. What do you want out of life? Is anyone here an entrepreneur? I'm just checking, yeah. And Amy, I love what you did about the physiology and the psychology. And given another time, we can take you through an exercise to anchor the difference. It's tough to say, I feel shitty when you're in full extension and your eyes are closed and you're up. Notice where you go when you get down. Your physiology changes, you go down, your breathing gets shallow. Just change your physiology. You'll change your state of consciousness and change your mind. And I mean, literally change your mind. As Zig Ziglar used to say, it's called stinking thinking. You want to get out of that. So what you want to do, you don't have to do anything, but what you may want to do is, I made a comment, no one cares what you do. When you are selling something, don't sell what you do. Tell people what they're going to get out of it. That's the only thing anyone cares about. It's the only thing people care about. Maury, God bless him, is giving away some stuff for free that can really change this. You don't care. And even if you do, it's not the reason you're going to experiment with it. You don't care the technology behind it. You want to know, can it change my stinking thinking? Can it get me to a higher level of consciousness and awareness? Because that's where you want to be. And going from 40 years of I don't want to be in this body to now I want to live forever and serve more people is a pretty wonderful place to be. What does it take to get there? Maury's got some pretty good stuff. Yes, there are other vehicles. I just happen to know Maury and know what he does, and I know that stuff rocks. He didn't tell you the technology. He didn't tell you how it works. He didn't tell you the frequencies. If you downloaded it, it's because, what am I going to get out of it? Can I change me? Turn that around to when you are pitching somebody. When you're pitching a show host, you want to be a guest on a podcast or a television or on a stage. They don't care what you do. Tell them what. Just before this, I was filling out an application. Somebody I knew from maybe 5 or 6 years ago sent out a post. Do you want to be a speaker? And of course, I've been doing that for 25 years. Tell them what I gave them the website and all that stuff. I told them what his audience is going to get out of it. Your job, when you are a guest, is not to show how brilliant you are. I figured this retrospectively, but one of the reasons I got invited back on a morning television talk show, an ABC network in San Diego, is I made the hosts look great. A guy named Jerry Bishop. Amy, if those notes are for me, okay. Can you clarify, what do you mean by an example on which space? Because I've covered a lot of territory here.
You did cover a lot of territory, but you were talking about addressing what's in it for them, because people are always concerned with what's in it for them, and address that instead of what you do or what you sell. And I was suggesting if you used something that you heard here today, if you would be like if you were to plus it, which is not like to diminish anything anybody shared, but it's just to add value, right? How would you add value to somebody that you've heard earlier today?
Outstanding question. And I want to explain the word plussing. We used to use that at CEO Space as an expression that Walt Disney came up with. No one wants to be corrected or, you said that wrong, say it this way. Plussing means to take it to a higher level, a higher vibration. So the example I'll go back to is Lisa, who teaches people how to be present to a camera, to have that presence. If I were talking to you and I was out here looking at whatever picture that is on the wall, you'd say, what the hell's wrong with him? Why doesn't he talk with me? So you care about making content. And I'll go back to Maury. You're downloaded it because you care what you're going to get out of it. You don't care about me. You don't care about Amy. Yes, humanitarian level, yes. You want to know what, if you read television or read newspapers, watch television, what is it about? You're going to get something out of it. I mean, unless you're a nerd and you want to go behind the scenes, you just, does it entertain you? Does it amuse me? Do you get information? Ladies and gentlemen, everything we do is what's in it for me. Even if people give philanthropically, well, it makes you feel good. Maybe a tax write-off. Do you care about the cause? Absolutely. By the way, I'm going to give you a couple of gifts in a few minutes that will help you transform, hopefully, if you put stuff into play, the way you do business. I'm going to pause. Who has questions, comments? How can I serve you? And by the way, that's a way to show up in life. And I dare say it wasn't just Amy that I asked that of when we met. It was, how can I serve you? Live a life of service. Let people come to you. You want to build interest. If you choose to do business with me, it's because we're going to interview one another and find out if, where, and how there may be a match. And I have nothing to sell you. It's just here to show up and serve. Pan, I see your hand raised.
Yes, I want to express deep gratitude with that word you gave us, plussing. It's I can't tell you how happy I am to be able to use that when I'm working with people and they say something and I want to add to it. And instead of saying, can I coach you? I'm going to say, can I plus that a little bit with you? Not for you, but with you. So thank you so much, Richard.
Most welcome. Yeah, it's come into my vocabulary from CEO space in the past 25 or so years. Thank you. And anyone else, hand up, speak up. What else would you like?
I have a question.
Alfira, yes.
So you help people with publicity,
Yes.
right? You work with David Fagan, who is all about the not next top talent, but it's the top talent joint venture mastermind. How do you do that?
The facetious answer is very well.
Well,
David used to be the.
I know that. I've seen results.
David used to be the CEO of Guerrilla Marketing, Jay Conrad Levinson's organization. And as a matter of fact, they are out on not Jay, but David and our team are out on something called the Marketers Cruise. They're, I don't know, Dominican Republic today, wherever they are. David has developed systems. He's absolutely brilliant in securing publicity. So because you asked, how do we do that? I go back to when you pitch, and whether you use this or not, when you pitch the outcome. Again, why does someone want you on their program? Why do you want to be in USA Today? And these are just some of the things we do. We get you in USA Today, an article in the Los Angeles Tribune magazine, and it doesn't make a difference what country you are from. It helps. It's publicity. Get you on our platforms and I'll give you information. We have the Money Forum coming up. We do a lot of work. The contacts that David has and that I have. I mean, one of the guys who's on the cruise right now is Mo Rock, the owner of the Los Angeles Tribune. We spent New Year's Eve together. He's become a very dear friend. It's who you know. It's not what. And more importantly than who you know. Anyone know what the question is there? It's who knows you. It's who knows you. I know the president of the United States. He hasn't a freaking clue who I am. Doesn't help. It's who knows you. Who do you have in your Rolodex that you can just push a button and get on the phone and they'll answer? That's how, in its superficial, highest sense, Amy, that's how we do what we do. Because, I mean, Amy's in my speed dial. I think I'm in your speed dial. Who knows you is what's important, that you can reach out. And don't reach out to people and see what they can do for you. And I go back to Amy's opening comment. First conversation, I asked this in breakout rooms, how can we serve people? How can you serve people and don't expect anything in return? I'm going to-
Can I offer something to that?
Please.
Okay, I'm just gonna have us all in gallery view. Okay, so to offer to that is like, you know what it's like when you're busy in your life and you're doing your thing and then somebody calls you and they're just like, oh, I need this, that, and the other, or can you get me that? It's like the larger people get or the more successful in life, the less they have time for those things, right? So it's like you actually want to be of service and contribution to them, build a relationship. And I mean, sometimes you don't need to go through a lot of time. Sometimes it's like, well, I'm in alignment with what you're doing. I see this vision. Like you can be straight to the points and offer like what is in it for them. Like I see this as a possibility for you because I am working in the same space. And, you know, can we connect on this? Or, you know, who do I need to talk to in your organization to talk about this with? Because some people don't even have the time to talk to you at that time, but you can speak to somebody in their organization who can help you to move up, right?
Amy, you are so right on. And when you do it that way, find out how you can serve them and you ask. And it's not, hey, if you do this for me, I'll do this for you. No, just show up. I'm looking for Maury. He's just happened on that side of the screen. You know, he, in his process, my simple invitation, call chiropractors. See, that's a space I know. And trust me, Maury, if I had the connections anymore, I would make them. How can you serve people? And you're going to get tired of the word. And people recognize you for that's what you do. So here's one thing I'm going to give you. Everyone here sends out emails, yes? Yeah. And if you would all like to have a higher open rate, yes? That would be a good thing. Here are 1,000 plus or minus enticing email subject lines. How do you look at the emails that come into you? Don't you trash most of them? Even the ones that don't go to spam? What engages you? Doesn't it? I have a seminar. Come join my seminar. Why the fuck should I join your seminar? Tell me what I'm going to get out of it. Use your subject lines to raise curiosity. There's one question that you have to answer to every prospect. Why me? Why me? Why do they want to work with you? Give them a reason to at least open an email. And when you do an opt-in form, if you look at that opt-in form, it's real simple. Give me your name and your email address, and if you want to have a conversation, your phone number. Because I'm telling you what it's about, so I don't need to write a missive in that event, in that process there. And I want to invite you to something else. I was married to an attorney, so I do a lot of sidebars here.
That's perfect.
I mentioned we are having in 2 weeks, something called the Money Forum. It is a virtual forum. That means it's right here. It's on Zoom. We did another program called the Neuroscience Summit over 4 days, and this is 4 days also. We averaged over 500 people live every single moment, over 30,000 interactions. It's free. Just click on the link. You'll see what it is. And I'm still seeking speakers. This is conjunction with CompUSA. Geez, where did that come from? With Capital One, with Wall Street's New to the Bank television show, NASDAQ New to the Bank television show, Top Talent Agency. Someone asked me, how many people are you expecting? Well, over 1,000. We had 30,000 last time through all the views. And we're looking for speakers. If you have something to contribute that teaches people about generating money, it is a paid to speak event because you're going to get exposure, remarkable exposure. This is not a metaphysical program. That was the neuroscience program. My wife and I interviewed John DeMartini. Some of you know John. And I said, John, you and I was working with you when you had 8 people in a room in La Jolla. Now he's, lives on a yacht. Go ahead, Amy.
Elvira's had her hand up for a long time.
I'm sorry, it's at the other end of the screen. I couldn't see
okay.
it.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't mean to take away from your promotion, Richard. Honestly, I just wanted to really acknowledge you and say that I've been in communication with Angela, your beautiful wife, and I adore her. And I just want to say how much she is like, you rarely see women that talk about their husbands the way Angela talks about you. So I just want to acknowledge you because this guy's the real deal. He is like a solid human. When his wife, thank you for clapping, Maury. When wives can talk this way about their husbands, there's a lot there. So I just want to acknowledge you, Richard, for just being who you are and the things that you said. Oh my God, so many chills. Follow your soul, follow what you're meant to do. You closing down your practice to serve entrepreneurs. Like how freaking brilliant is that? And your advice to pitch the outcome. That's so beautiful. That's going to help me tighten what I share as well. So I just want to thank you so much for giving so much value to us today. And just, I hope that feels good what you heard about Angela. I'm sure you already knew it, but it's nice to hear it from someone else.
Thank you so much for that feedback. And I told Amy when we began, she was going to be here, but it's called life happens. Okay, so Maury private messaged me, how much does it cost? And how long do you get to speak? You're going to have an audience that's global. Roku, YouTube. We could only clock the YouTube, but we know we had 30,000. It's between 1,500 and 25,000. We only got 4 of those 25. This is not a pitch fest. It is not a sales event. And I don't want to take time from you. I'd rather be in service to you. Just did I put this in here? Did I give you the link for that? I'm not sure. So just if
Is
you
that for
want
the
to,
speaking that you're putting a link for the speaker there?
yeah, just reach out to me and we can do an interview and see if it's a fit. I think where I was, it's not a metaphysical. I mentioned John D. Martini. It's not, think and grow rich kind of stuff. That's all important. Mindset's important. I'm interviewing even someone who does an MLM because I know millionaires that made it through MLM. So if you have a product or service, love to have you just set up.
I have a friend who might be interested in it. I didn't realize. Okay, so the power of your network. There's a friend that I have. I know he's very successful in business and he had a wealth firm. But I didn't realize until like I looked up his company the other day that he's going towards $50 billion. And I was like, dude, if I called, not million, billion, but if I called this person up, like I have the kind of relationship that I could say, hey, I'm in the neighborhood and go over for tea. Like, and I had no idea because I mean, it doesn't really change who they are for me. Other than like, hey, it's really cool. I know that person. But yeah, I already suggested Dan Locke, but my other friend, I think he would be very good for you because obviously he knows how to make money. And then I have somebody else who has a real estate development investment company. He's also he could speak really well to
perfect kind of speaker because and our speakers, Harrison, are you raising your hand there?
Yes, I am.
Hold on. I just want to make sure.
I'm holding.
Be right there.
I'm holding.
Listen to what Amy just said. She can serve you by bringing in high-level speakers. And listen, even if you're not a speaker, click participate in that. It's going to be a freaking awesome program. And thank you, Amy. And just reach out again, like you did with Anthony or Dan, and an introductory email. It'd be
Perfect.
great.
Can I share something before Harrison does? I've been wanting to show you guys this. I just want to show you a picture. I'm super stoked. Okay, so I have a mentor, and this is me and Dan Locke just the other day, and I got to go into his production studio, which he says he's only ever taken like 2 groups of people into it ever. And so I spent the entire day with him. And he went through all my business and he told me exactly what to do, which was not what I thought. He's made hundreds of millions of dollars and helped a lot of people. And when I send you guys my offers at the end of this, just know that I'm going to be like between doubling and quadrupling my prices afterwards. So because I'm listening to what my mentor's telling me. But I'm not gonna go and do that for you guys. This is about being contribution. So I just wanted to share that. Yeah, and hopefully, I don't know, did Anthony get back to you?
Not yet, but he's on my list to call tomorrow because I'm wall to wall today.
Okay.
I don't know what Amy's going to offer you, but what I know about Amy and who her mentors are, working with Locke, you're going to want to take advantage of what she has to offer. She's not just another kid out in the street, a pretty face, and I mean that in a loving way, saying, hey, buy me, buy me, buy me. And it's one of the things, Amy, that you have created a culture here. How many times have we been on a webinar and as soon as the chat lights up, it's buy me, buy me, buy me, buy me. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Build, Amy, you said it beautifully, build a relationship. Obviously, you built a remarkable relationship with Locke that he's taken you into his inner sanctum.
Yeah.
That's who you're dealing with here. That's who you have the opportunity to play with. And just step up into that. Harrison, you have no, I can't move it, but you have the middle screen here. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to acknowledge you, Richard. I remember that we had 2 conversations, one with David Fagan and one individually with you. In those conversations, we did not have the opportunity to take a look at a bunch of things that I wanted to extend that conversation with. But what I wanted to tell you with is that I also am a member of a group called Wealthy Mofos. And that's just 4 of us with Laurel Langmeyer, with Mark Tassoni, and Kamal El Rasi, and we teach money kind of principle. Mark is a world-class sales producer. He's written 5 books, also with Ben Gay, the third. who is a legend in the sales industry. So that's a money stuff. I can bring all kinds of people in that area to you and for you, and I'd love to do that with you, Richard. So that's very good. I personally work in the quantum field, but we also do panel discussions about wealth and inner wealth and external wealth and how they relate. So, but Mark does sales and Kamal does strategies, and it's an incredible opportunity for them if you would be interested in them at all as speakers. They're great speakers.
If you would be kind enough just to set up a time for us to talk, Harrison, and let me just put that link right there easily. I have not reached out to Ben. I know Ben for many years. I called Laurel yesterday. She hasn't gotten back to me. She's a friend also from many, many years. We've been on the same stages together.
Me too. I've been a friend of John DeMartini's for at least 15 years. The day before yesterday, I spent the whole day with Les Brown. I've worked with all the top mentors out there. John Asseroff is a good friend of mine. All these guys. So please, I definitely want to connect with you in a most profound way, and I want to give you a lot of that additional stuff. So I've got some people that are really significant in these areas as well. So love to help you.
Amy, I was going to say blown away, but it's not. I guess it's what I would anticipate from the people who are attracted to you. Like Harrison. Ladies and gentlemen, please hear what just happened. Harrison didn't say, I want to do it. He said, I want to serve you. I mean, that's the overarching translation. By bringing these kinds of speakers, Ben Gay is freaking awesome in what he does. Posts on Facebook all the time. Here's where I live. Where do you live? It was cute. John Asseroff was in The Secret. Laurel, her backstory came from sleeping in a car to buying her own twin-engine aircraft, and she teaches wealth and abundance all over now. So these are the kinds of people that we all have the opportunity to be in that same sandbox. Who do you want to play with? You've heard the expression, you're a reflection of the 5 people who are closest to you. If you're hanging out with people and they're bitching and moaning and groaning about the economy, and change your friends. Change your friends. Hang out with people that you are not the smartest one in the room. For anyone in real estate here, you don't want to own the most expensive house on the block. You want to own something a little bit less so you can sell it for more. So hang out with people who animate and elevate your consciousness and your vibration, and watch what happens to you. If you're hanging out with people who are just so pissed at everything, change them. Anise, am I pronouncing that properly? If you unmute.
Yes, Richard. Hi.
Hi.
It's great to be here. I wanted to thank you because probably a little bit more than a year ago, when I was trying to find where I belonged, you connected me with a couple of people, and I followed your advice and their advice, and I've started a private health association, and I'm building a health and wellness education and healing center here in Philadelphia. I have a beta tested holistic product that we've been looking at this and what it does for 4 years. It's ready to go into the market. It's gotten some wonderful results, including helping people who are struggling with long COVID. And I'm here because I'm ready to level up and begin to look at some substantial business partnerships that will take me into the international market. We have a distributor in Australia. So all those baby steps that you recommended to me and that I heard in CEO Space, I've been doing this for like the last 13, 15 months. And I just wanted to say thank you. Thanks to Amy. Thanks to Sana, everybody who's here. You just kind of have to keep going and find your way. Find the right people. It's very true. Thanks. That's just that. Finding the right people is another adventure. I'm on it, but lovely to see everybody. That's all I wanted to say. Thanks. Happy to do partnerships, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But first of all, I'm just happy to see everybody.
Thank you. I just looked, our last conversation was February 15th last year. So, all right. So
That's awesome. That's the power of like learning from somebody and then implementing it over time. Like we always go to these things and we want to meet all of the people and we want to like implement everything at once. If you guys take that whole mentality and scrap it because it doesn't work, you'll be way better off. Go and see who you resonate with, see who you can learn from and who you can make a difference for. You'll connect with all the others.
I love what you wrote in the chat, Amy. Be the dumbest and least successful person in the group. Yes. You always learn and grow more. Yeah. It's all, we speak about ego before. By the way, you cannot destroy ego. And you cannot, the purpose of the mind, I want to quiet your mind. You can't, the purpose of the mind is to think. You cannot stop it. That's its function. That happens in death. Maybe even not then, we're not sure. But you can't kill the ego. Ego serves you. It depends on how you express it. Are you the most important person? You can tell everyone everything you know, whether they want to know or not. You never would have had a Gandhi or a Lincoln or a John Kennedy if you didn't have ego. I don't want to get into current politics, but you would not have had these kinds of people. When you have a gift to give to the world, give it without ego. Let it just come through organically and let people seek you out.
My favorite expression, guys, is that, my friend Chris Salem said this, and I've used it ever since I heard it. He said, give without expectation, receive without resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Chris is also great. I've reached
Chris
out to
is great.
Chris. Yeah, I reached out to Chris to speak at the Money Forum. Haven't heard from him either yet.
Yeah, I interviewed him on my talk show when I had it a couple of years back. You know those people that you meet and then you never actually know if they remember you? Because he's meets so many people. I'm sure he does remember me. But I don't know. Okay.
He's awesome.
All right. Thank you. That was so good, Richard. Thank you, Harrison.
Good stuff, my friend. You made it to the end of the video. That says something about you. It says that you're an amazing, amazing, amazing person. Remember that every time you make it to the end of one of my videos, just acknowledge yourself for being so freaking awesome. And while you're awesome, make sure that you click the subscribe button down below, and also the surprise me button, because the surprise me button is going to take you somewhere special. It's a surprise. It's going to go either to another video, it's going to go to something I think is cool, maybe a download, maybe an invitation to something. You never know what you're going to get. So make sure you click on that and subscribe to, and you are awesome. Remember that.